Are you tired of running into red bar warriors, man? I don't know about you guys. I've honestly have just grown overly tired of it. I know it's like some of the other content creators. I know Cammy's mentioned, he's like, man, it's just a norm. I don't even get mad about it anymore. But I do, man. I do, especially like in things like trials. And especially when I know people are blatantly taking advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? And they're directly doing it. Now, of course, I ran across this Reddit post and I started to just kind of read into it, man, and start doing a little bit of my own research. But it kind of goes into what's really affecting Destiny and what's killing Destiny's multiplayer. And really, it's networking. It's just the architecture and what its multiplayer is just surrounded around. And that's the thing that's really hurting it the most. You know, Destiny is on a peer-to-peer multiplayer. And that's something that's already hurting itself. You know, peer-to-peer is not something I would ever throw on something like Destiny. You know, it'd be different if I was playing, you know, fucking some, you know, indie game or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just some whatever game. But this is Destiny. This is a major game with a huge player base. I mean, we've got millions of people that are actively playing every weekend for just trials, and that's a big deal. And that's not something that needs to be just allowed and put together on a peer-to-peer platform. Destiny also operates at 10 hertz tick. Now, this was all news to me, and this was all very much just educational as well. And now, 10 hertz is not a lot, guys. 10 hertz is very minimal. I mean, at bare minimum. And if you look at something like Overwatch is at 60. Okay, which is why you don't necessarily run. There's other things that makes Overwatch good, but I mean, I'm not sitting there and just trying to put Overwatch up on a pedestal, but they're at 60. CS is at 128 on some servers, but 64 minimum. All of these things are numbers that I'm pulling off online, guys, but I will say this, playing those games, I never run into the red bar warriors that I run into here in Destiny. So with all of this being said, why am I making this video? Why are we even talking about this? Guys, we're very much heading into Destiny 2, and I want these things to be addressed because I don't want red bar warriors to be in Destiny 2. And I also don't want situations where you trade with people and it's just outright crazy, or when you shoot somebody and you're critting them, and then after you get done shooting them, then the kill actually registers and they die, but then they somehow miraculously led to killing you. All of those things should just be outright taken care of, man. And they can be taken care of with two things that can really fix that. Number one, dedicated servers. And you've already heard many people really go into it, but I really suggest, guys, that you get a chance to look into this Reddit post and read it for yourselves. But I mean, it was an eye-opener for me. But dedicated servers is something that's really going to identify what players are actually cheating and stuff like that, and where they can get them. You know, at peer-to-peer, the way we got it now is the only pros that it identifies with is actually being cheap. And that only benefits Bungie and Activision. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't benefit us in any kind of way. And it even mentions that this is not something that you would want to put on a game such as this one. You know what I'm saying? On Destiny. I will say, you know, the cons being, of course, is the lack of security. And that's a huge one. We've definitely run into that problem a multitude of times. You know, faster tick rate is also something we really need to put into place. You know, if games like Overwatch can throw in 60, man, we need 60. I really believe we need 60, but at least better than what we got now, at least better than 10. You know, Overwatch, when it was launched, was at 20 ticks, 20 tick rate, man. And what I'm trying to say is, at launch, they had twice the tick rate than what we have even now after 2.5 years. And I'm not trying to be super salty, but again, this is something that I think people have been complaining about for a long time. And for us to just accept it and go, oh, whatever, that's not the way it goes. Bungie is doing too well with this game. You know, this game is as much revenue as this game has turned, not only from the game itself when you initially bought it, but the constant DLCs and expansions that a lot of us has bought, and also the microtransactions that a lot of us has bought as well. You can't tell me they can't afford to put these things in place for us to have a better multiplayer experience. And, you know, again, there's a lot of the things that I've been preaching about, and I feel like I'm just still preaching about it, but to have someone actually throw a Reddit post together and go into details about it is really, really nice and really educational as well for me to go through and read. Anyways, fellas, thanks so much for coming and watching. Check out that post for yourself. Let me know in the comments below what you think as far as what we need to do in terms of, you know, fixing, you know, just the game that we love so much. I mean, that's the thing. We like this game. That's why we play it. Like I said, multiplayer-wise, I love this game. I think it's got one of the best multiplayer. Network-wise, it's what's killing multiplayer, though. Anyways, guys, I'll catch y'all later. Slap that like button like your mama told you right.
Hey you, can I learn your flavor? It's brand new. Now it's in the papers, all I seem to see. Must be something underneath.